Number 10, she's coming to the CW. Marking the first Latina superhero title character of a DC series, Yara Flor is coming to the CW as a TV series. So it was announced back in November 2020 that producer Greg Berlanti will be behind the project, with Queen of the South producer and co-showrunner Dalen Rodriguez writing the pilot. Berlanti produced The Flash and Arrow and also brought us DC's first Black-led series, Black Lightning, and first LGBTQ superhero, Batwoman. So the introduction of Yara Flor into the CW is something we're truly looking forward to. No casting announcements have been made yet, but we're expecting something within the next couple of months as the comic begins to grow and grow. Who would you cast as the new Wonder Woman? Let us know your thoughts down below because we love reading those as well. And before we move on to number 9, if you guys could go ahead and toss this video a thumbs up, that would help us out so much here at the studio. Thank you so much, you guys are the best. Now back to more Yara Flor. Number 9, Joelle Jones. With a new character comes a new origin story. So who is behind Yara Flor? Who is the writer to bring her to life? Joelle Jones. The first issue, titled Hell to Pay, was written by Joelle Jones with Jordi Belair on colors. She made her first publication with Madame Zandu Volume 2, Issue 19 back in 2010. And the look of Yara Flor was actually inspired by the Brazilian indigenous model, Suane Moreira. She's an Eisner-nominated artist and began writing and drawing her own series titled Lady Killer, brought to us by Dark Horse. So if you're a fan of the storytelling and design in those pages, Yara Flor is a must-read. She's also no stranger to the DC Comics world either, providing art for numerous titles like Adventures of Superman, Batman 66, Superman American Alien, and Supergirl being super. Number 8, more Wonder Woman. On January 5th, Future State Wonder Woman began, now of course being part of DC's Future State event that runs through February. But we also get to see an older version of Diana Prince as well at the end of her time. And this begins with Future State Immortal Wonder Woman. We will also see Yara cross paths with Superman and other Future State big hitters. So if you're a casual reader, this is the perfect time to brush up on a little bit of Wonder Woman's history and follow along as she makes new allies, enemies, and shapes history along the way. Number 7, where does it take place? The CW's upcoming Wonder Girl show has been rumored to be attached to DC's Titans. Now this is unlikely to be true. See, following Crisis on Infinite Earths event, we saw every DC TV series smashed together and it was glorious. And now, the Titan story has gone back and returned to its own Earth 9. So it's likely the Wonder Girl series will be set in its own parallel world, similar to what Stargirl is doing. Or it will take place in the Arrowverse beside the main CW lineup. Who knows? What are your thoughts? Number 6, Jerry? We all love a trusty sidekick, and when it comes to winged horses, well, you better be talking about Jerry. Her transportation method is a pretty cute one. See, when Yara first cries out for the noble steed, he is nowhere to be seen. She yells his name in the middle of taking down a massive Hydra. Where is that stupid animal, she says. And it turns out Jerry is elsewhere. He's just drinking some water, hanging out, enjoying the breeze, just being Jerry, you know? And then leaving it until last minute, he finally arrives to carry Yara to safety. Or rather, to carry Yara even closer to the Hydra to get a better hit, you know, to take it down. So Jerry has some words of advice, but that's up to you to put it together. Yara can understand him, and all the readers get is we or re. You know, classic horse talk. Number 5, Keopora. Making her first appearance as well in the first issue, we meet the tour guide to the dark side. She lives in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil and ends up beside Yara on her quest to the underworld. She can make animals do whatever she asks. The only catch is that they have to be animals from our physical world. She also has chlorokinesis, meaning that she can turn the jungle all around, making people get lost, which Yara specifically mentions a time where she did exactly that to her, which sounds like an absolute nightmare. Maybe that's the reason why I wasted all that time in Ocarina of Time as a kid. Left, right? Damn it. What makes her helpful right out of the gate is her dimensional travel ability, with Yara set on rescuing her sister from the grasps of Hades. I mean, you have to get past the bouncer first, and to cap it off, she's also immortal. So she's basically the best tour guide slash sidekick you can have. Number 4, she doesn't take no for an answer. Okay, so in the first few pages of Future State Wonder Woman, we see Yara Flor battling it out with a Hydra, like the one I just mentioned. She begins cutting the horn off after she takes it down, and then when Kaipora, the Forest Guardian spirit, the friend who I just mentioned, shows up and warns her not to do that, and how she won't allow poaching. But Yara insists that she takes the horn of the beast and plans to drive it into the heart of Hades, twist twisting until it oozes with thick black blood, and then bring back her sister herself. Okay. So Kaipora says that she can look past the death of a wayward Hydra, but taking its horn simply just won't fly. And Yara responds with, "Watch me." Ooh, I literally said ooh out loud when I read that. I was like, here comes trouble, here we go. And then what do you know, she agrees to help her get to the underworld, but first you have to make it there. Meaning, you have to go through number 3, she hates airports. I mean, don't we all? I mean, the best feeling is traveling, but like the worst feeling is also traveling, you know? Especially now, I can't imagine how exhausting the whole process is going to be moving forward in this new, cleaner world that we're in. Well, Yara hates airports just as much as the rest of us. While they're checking in with the demon border officer, Yara quickly becomes tired of waiting. There's actually a pretty funny exchange between Kaipora and the demon. She's looking for her membership card, and then after the demon says some gibberish, she responds with, "I know, right? Definitely feels like a Monday." It gives the readers a good laugh, but not Yara. See, this is the turning point where she becomes tired of waiting and small talk, and she just walks through the gate, or at least she attempts to. See, after a few clicks and pushes of the turnstile, she just tears the damn thing clean off. And then she realizes she made a mistake and then gently and hilariously places it on the counter next to the demon officer, who was just giving her that look. Number 2, the underworld. So the best feeling, like I said, is arriving at a brand new place or a brand new airport. You've made it, you're finally there. The smell is different, the pace has changed, you have that excitement mixed with travel anxiety, it's great. Well, Yara Flor experienced this herself upon her first visit to the main transit hub for the underworld, which is described by Kaipora as this limbo realm. The people that die end up there to get sorted out and then sent on their way to whatever afterlife or eternity they envision. It's a pretty depressing place. I mean, it's full of dead people, very Beetlejuice-like, you know? Guys walking around holding their heads. It's crazy. So when it comes time for Yara to advance in this lineup, she quickly realizes she has to pay death. So while Kaipora is giving Yara a hard time for missing her birthday, Yara tries to steal a coin from a dead man in front of her in order to get through. Not a good idea. And number 1, Brazilian politics. I mean, sure, the underworld is always an exciting time, got a lot of drama happening down there, but what's Yara Flor's goal here? What's important to her besides saving her family from the grasp of Hades? Well, she begins her story going after incompetent, hypocritical, corrupt politicians in São Paulo, Brazil. In the future state Superman Wonder Woman issue 1, it's set in the near future where there's quite a few of these guys zipping back and forth to meetings in their fancy helicopters. So she literally wants to make the skies cleaner. She even gives one of them a hard time asking about where the money's gone for all the roads. I mean, to be fair, I've always wanted to try one of those Uber helicopters. Maybe I'll do it someplace Yara isn't hanging out, you know? Or else she'll make me write lessons down over and over again like Bart Simpson.
Number 10, Etta and VICKI Trevor. These two hail from a very dark reality, the alternate Earth and number 34 from the DC multiverse. Here, Wonder Woman's home was invaded by the British military and she ended up being enslaved and taken away when she was young, kidnapped, and brought to London, where she grew up poor on the streets. Eventually, she was taken in by the evil Captain Stephen Trevor of the universe, who paraded her around as an Amazonian oddity, profiting off of her and eventually also marrying her, because I guess that's what you do when you profit off of someone in London in this evil time. The couple had 2 children together, and while we don't know if they discovered their powers, we can assume they eventually would, as Diana herself did, and use them to oppose an evil king and save those who cannot save themselves, becoming known as the hero Wonder Woman. Number 9, John. John is pretty young still on the alternate world of Earth 31, the Dark Knight Returns reality, but it is still possible he could grow up to be stronger than most on this list. Still, because he's so young is why he's getting ranked so low to start us off. John is the son of Wonder Woman and Superman, and there is a good chance that he will become just as powerful, possibly even more powerful than his sister, who already is known for her strength and abilities in this reality. He's got a lot of potential, basically. And my friends, before we move on to the next spot, if you are loving this list as much as I am loving giving it to ya, then please be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 8, Wonder Girl. Wonder Girl is Stephanie Trevor, the daughter of Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman from the alternate Earth of 3839. She first appeared in Superman and Batman Generations 2, issue number 1. She was created by John Byrne. I love Byrne, by the way. She was actually born the same year as Superman and Lois Lane had their daughter in this reality, Kara Kent. In the future, she'd go on to take over her mother's mantle of Wonder Woman. Her powers are similar to those of her mother. She has a divine empowerment empowerment that gives her godlike agility, strength, and durability due to her Amazonian heritage and due to being Diana's daughter. Number 7. Hunter Prince. Hunter Prince comes to us from Justice League Legacy. Initially, people were not sure who Hunter's father was, with many speculating that it could be Superman or Batman. However, in truth, his dad was less of a man or super and more of a cosmic entity known as the Darkness. It was because of the fear within Diana after her exposure to the darkness that caused her to conceive Hunter. After being born, Diana entrusted friends Superman and Lois Lane to raise her son, but Hunter would come to believe that Diana had given him up because he was a boy, creating tension between him and her when they met after he traveled back in time. Hunter, like many of Wonder Woman's other children, possesses godlike superhuman abilities due to him being born of an Amazon. But I don't think we consider him an Amazon because he's a guy. I don't know. Maybe Hunter's like the first male Amazon. I like to think of it that way. Number 6. Fury. This daughter of Wonder Woman hails from pre-crisis Earth 2 and her name is HYPPOLYTA TREVOR. Her nickname would become Lita and she would take on the superhero name of Fury. However, this was Lita's story pre-crisis, and post-crisis she would have her origins changed completely, with her no longer being the Wonder Woman of Earth 2's daughter, as Wonder Woman of Earth 2 had basically been erased from existence. However, there was a time when she was the daughter of Diana and her love Steve Trevor, and while Fury's character was changed, you can still go back and actually read stories from that previous continuity before the reset happened. Lita was known for her super jumping powers, her super strength, and her godlike agility. She was also a super skilled combatant being trained by her mother. Number 5. Fury. So yeah, there are 2 Furies. This one is also from Earth 2, but from a later version in continuity, and is an interesting daughter of Wonder Woman. Her real name is Donna of Amazon Island. She hails from Earth 2 and is the daughter of Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened with this pairing or how it happened or what's going on there, as it was never really fully explained, but we do know that it happened and that the two had a daughter together. Because Fury is the daughter of both of these amazing warriors, much of her power level comes from their prowess as well as her Amazonian heritage. She is not only strong, durable, swift, and immortal, but is also known for her brilliant mind as well. Amazons really do have it all. Number 4. Bruce Kent. Bruce Kent is the son of Wonder Woman and Superman from the Superman Distant Fires comic. Because everyone loves when Superman and Wonder Woman get together, settle down, and have kids. It's just what people are into. Bruce Kent, being born of both heroes, inherited many of his father's powers, which means he's pretty powerful. He ended up being sent away, however, by Superman when he was younger, which means that he might not have learned as much from his mother and father as some of Wonder Woman's other kids. However, he's still pretty OP, hence why he's on the list. Number 3. Supergirl. Lara is the daughter of Wonder Woman and Superman from the Dark Knight Returns reality of Earth 31. She's John's older sister. She made her first appearance in Dark Knight Strikes Again and was created by Frank Miller. Because she is the daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman, there is almost nothing Lara can't do between her Kryptonian and her Amazonian heritage and powers together. She is an amazingly skilled fighter with a strong will and also possesses abilities similar to her father. Number 2. HYPERMAN. HYPERMAN is the son of Wonder Woman and Superman from the reality of Earth 22, the Kingdom Come universe. There, Wonder Woman and Superman would end up together, and once their son was born, asked Batman to be his godfather and also help raise and train him. Unfortunately, the youngster ended up being kidnapped before any of this could take place. Not to worry though, as the 3 heroes would band together and end up rescuing baby Jonathan Kent, getting him back. However, he would end up immediately disappearing, as while being taken, he made a connection with Hyper Time that basically gave him dominion over it. He would slip into Hyper Time to be raised by an older version of himself and act as a guardian of time and reality, aka Hyper Time. Because of his connection to Hyper Time, he would therefore also possess the ability to travel to alternate worlds, dimensions, and through time, which I think is pretty powerful. I feel like if you can do that, you're winning. You're one of the tops. Number 1. Dream. So, okay, this is a really trippy one, and I'm obviously really excited to tell you about it. Technically, the new, or current Dream, if you will, Daniel, is the grandson of Wonder Woman. Sort of. Not really, but sort of. Just follow me here. Remember HYPPOLYTA TREVOR, aka Lita, aka Fury, who was once the daughter of Wonder Woman and Steve before that origins was retconned out of existence? Daniel was Lita's son, but he came to be so after her origins were retconned. In a weird way, this makes him kind of Wonder Woman's alternate reality reality grandson. Of course, Lita, who would go on to get married and become known as Lita Hall, lost her child to the original Dream, aka Morpheus, who knew that Daniel was meant to become the new version of him once he passed on, as the Endless never really died, but instead just changed as time passes. Daniel therefore isn't really Daniel even anymore, and Lita is no longer Wonder Woman's daughter, but still, Daniel has acknowledged his connection and relation to Diana, and because he is a member of the Endless, is one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. So hence why he's the most powerful child of Wonder Woman. Family member of Wonder Woman? I'm gonna count it. I feel like grandsons should count as a form of children. You know, even alternate reality grandsons. Number 10, ORANA. ORANA is definitely one of the most random alternates for Wonder Woman. She was an Amazon who only made a few appearances in the comics in the Earth 1 continuity, and would take the Wonder Woman mantle from Diana after beating her in a contest of champions. ORANA was very skilled and did beat Diana, which is why I thought it was relevant to include her here. Though it should also be noted that she mainly won, especially the last contest, because Diana's concern for the safety of others slowed her down. While HIPPOLYTA initially proclaimed her daughter the victor of the contest due to her heroism, the gods disagreed and made ORANA the winner instead. Diana chose to accept their will and handed over the position and title to ORANA. ORANA, however, would prove to be out of her league when she ventured into man's world, mainly failing as Wonder Woman due to her stubbornness and a string of misunderstandings. She was still pretty strong though. And of course, she was still the rightful victor of the contest, and for that, I thought she might be a cool alternative to highlight. ORANA's story as Wonder Woman takes place over the course of 2 issues from Wonder Woman 250 to issue 251. ORANA would also inspire a follow-up red-headed Wonder Woman character who would appear later on in the comics. Not inspire her as a person, but just inspire that character to exist. Number 9. Earth 2 Wonder Woman. Earth 2 Wonder Woman was the first version of the character we were introduced to in the comics, with her making her very first appearance back in 1942 in All-Star Comics issue number 8. This version of Diana would have tons of gadgets, including her earrings, which granted her whatever amount of oxygen she needed to survive, no matter where she was, gave her enhanced hearing, allowed her to survive without needing to consume food, and she could use them as a communication device, communicating at one point with the leader of Venus. That is a very versatile accessory. Although she was very strong and had various gadgets at her disposal to enhance her abilities, Diana did still possess the weakness that if she was bound by any man, she would lose all of her power. However, being bound by a woman, at least, doesn't have that effect, and as soon as Wonder Woman can get free, her powers do return to her. Also, good luck trying to bind Wonder Woman. I feel like that would be challenging. And friends, before we move on to our next spot, if you are loving this list and you want more Wonder Woman lists, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 8. Artemis. Back in the New Earth days, there was a time when Artemis became the new Wonder Woman. Artemis is from the Bana-Migdal tribe of Amazons who hail from Egypt. Artemis would become Wonder Woman after HIPPOLYTA had a vision of the hero dying, and not wanting her daughter to die, decided to challenge the fates by electing a new Wonder Woman. Artemis managed to win this contest and as such became the new Wonder Woman, being given magical artifacts of her own, including the Gauntlet of Atlas, which multiplied her strength by 10-fold, the Sandals of Hermes, which granted her swiftness and flight, and of course the Lasso of Truth. Artemis stood apart from Diana as Wonder Woman, but was less respected due to her violent approach to heroics and her more edgy past. Also, sadly, it turned out that HIPPOLYTA's vision would still come true, with Artemis later dying while carrying the mantle. Don't worry though, she would be resurrected, as is usually the way with comic book characters. Artemis was also that other red-headed Wonder Woman who ORANA's story and character design likely paved the way for. Number 7. Future State Wonder Woman. I think we can safely say that Yara Flor was a pretty powerful Wonder Woman when we got to peer into the future in Future State, and get a preview of Yara taking up that mantle. Yara herself, like Diana, is an Amazon, but one who comes from a different Amazonian tribe who split off from the women who reside on THEMYSCIRA. Her tribe is known as the Amazons of the Amazon, and like Wonder Woman, Yara herself is a demigod and as such possesses divine empowerment. She is super strong, super fast, and can fly, and even if she couldn't fly, she would have her winged horse Jerry to back her up. Yara Flor also possesses her own kind of Lasso of Truth, known as the Golden Boleadoris, which works a little differently. The Golden Boleadoris gives her control over her lassoed opponents, compelling them to bend to her will, which means she can not only compel them to tell the truth, but can also compel people to act as she wills them to. Number 6. Flashpoint Wonder Woman. Definitely one of the scariest alternates of Wonder Woman out there, this alternate version is specifically an alternate version of Diana herself and hails from the Flashpoint timeline. A dark timeline indeed. Here Diana Diana, the Amazons, and Themyscira are at war with Aquaman and Atlantis. In the animated film Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox, this version of Wonder Woman is at war with Aquaman because she killed Mera after the Queen found out about her and Aquaman having an affair. Whereas in the comics, it was the assassination of Diana's mother, HYPPOLYTA, at the hands of an Atlantean during her and Aquaman's political wedding that started the conflict. But what both versions have in common, regardless of how the conflict started, is that they are both ruthless, bloodthirsty, and determined in their war against Atlantis. Number 5. Superwoman. Even as a mother-to-be, Superwoman is really terrifying. Superwoman is the dark alternate of Wonder Woman who hails from Earth 3, but while she is like a parallel for the hero in terms of her place on the crime syndicate in comparison to the Justice League, she is not an alternate of Diana Prince. Instead, Superwoman is none other than an alternate version of Lois Lane, but one who is evil, diabolical, and superpowered. Superwoman possesses superhuman strength, durability, is immortal, and can fly. She is also a master manipulator who comes armed with her lasso of submission, which bends the will of any ensnared in it, making them both obey and love Superwoman. However, her barbed lasso doesn't work on all who she ensnares in it, and some with superbly strong will have managed to resist its control. Number 4. Earth 23 Wonder Woman. On Earth 23, Nubia is the world's Wonder Woman. She serves on the Justice League along with Calvin Ellis' Superman, Batman, Red Tornado, Green Lantern, Mr. Miracle, Vixen, Steel, Zatanna, The Guardian, Black Lightning, and Cyborg, a much more diverse alternate version of the League. Earth 23 Nubia possesses powers that put her on a level similar to that of Diana of the main continuity. Like Diana, she possesses divine empowerment, is an extremely masterful warrior, is immortal, and comes armed with her lasso, gauntlets, or bracelets, and her invisible jet. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, quick alert, alert, we have a new channel coming your way. It is called Nerd Elite. That is right, we are doing another channel and I'm so excited for you to check it out. So make sure you do so, go subscribe, follow, do all the things. Number 3. Donna Troy, aka the original Wonder Girl. Donna Troy has also gone by a few other names over the years and had her origins reworked a few different times. Currently, her backstory is that she was built as a weapon to be used against Wonder Woman, being created by the Amazon witch Darano, vengeful ex of Queen HYPPOLYTA. Donna, however, would overcome her villainous origins and become a hero in her own right, taking up the mantle of Wonder Girl and serving on the Teen Titans. Back in the New Earth continuity, Donna Troy took up the mantle of Wonder Woman during the events of 1 year later, after Diana stepped down in order to do some soul searching. Number 2. HYPPOLYTA. HYPPOLYTA is of course her own character and the mother of Diana Prince, aka our main Wonder Woman, but currently in the comics she has also moved over to become the new Wonder Woman with the Justice League. HYPPOLYTA decided to take her daughter's place as one of Earth's most powerful heroes following the events of Dark Knight's death metal, where Diana basically became one with the cosmos after taking on the power of Perpetua and sacrificing herself to save the multiverse. As Diana rests, HYPPOLYTA decided she should take up her daughter's mantle and has left Nubia to rule Themyscira in her place. HYPPOLYTA is one of the most gifted Amazons around, being a gifted and wise leader, impressively fierce warrior, and brilliant strategist. Number 1. ORORO of Themyscira. This version of Wonder Woman comes to us from the Amalgam Universe, a crossover world where DC and Marvel characters become merged together. If you are a Marvel and Mutant fan like me, you probably already guessed which Marvel character Diana was combined with here. ORORO of Themyscira is a combination of both DC's Wonder Woman and, of course, Marvel's Storm, a famous member of the X-Men and former Queen of Wakanda. Combining both the powers and abilities of these two powerhouse characters makes ORORO one of the strongest alternate versions of Wonder Woman we've seen yet, and one of my favorites.